Tim Brando, along with Spencer Tillman from our College Football Today studios here exclusively for CBSSports.com. Those cold November breezes have begun to blow, fanning the flames under coaches on the hot seat. The speculation continues as to who might replace Dennis Franchione at Texas A&M, and one name keeps coming up, Spencer. It's Auburn's Tommy Tuberville.
Yeah, Timmy, I don't think, though, it's going to compromise his negotiating position if Tommy Tuberville knows and the public knows that he's not going to leave there. I talked to some significant Auburn people the other day, and they know exactly what he needs to make. It'll be somewhere between $3.2 and $3.4 million. The only question is, how long will that contract go? So, again, he's got a lot of leverage historically. Tommy Tuberville's not going anyplace.
All right, well, he's 53 years of age, okay? He does have to deal with Nick Saban on a regular basis. If he goes into Texas, there are a lot of players there. I mean, and Mack Brown can't get all of them. Yeah. So conventional wisdom is, in a state like Alabama where recruiting may be more difficult, Texas may be the better resting place if you're the Mississippi River.
Well, there's no question he's going to have more pool of talent to draw from. There's no question about that. And that's part of why Dennis Franchione is on his way out. Because there is so much talent, he hadn't been able to convert that talent. Right. So that is problematic. But again, he's got two school-age sons that are playing right now. True. And he needs to be aware of that and wants to be around that. So again, I don't think that compromises the situation. I think it strengthens it.
The hotter story is really Bill Callahan at Nebraska. He could be coaching his last game at home in Lincoln today. Frankly, a lot of people, after Kansas hung 76 on them, were surprised, me included, that he survived the week.
Well, it wasn't just that, Timmy. It was the total dominance of Kansas. I mean, 10 straight drives where they produced touchdowns. We're not talking about field goals here. That's unprecedented. Right. I think one of the things that Bill Callahan has got to understand, no matter where he comes back, if he rebounds, he's got to approach these Gen Yers from a different angle. These are kids that are very distrusting these days, and you can't come in with that military-style approach and lord over them. I was talking to Bobby Bowden once about 2.5 weeks ago. He said, Spencer, 15 years ago, you could ask a kid, I could ask a kid as a coach to run through that brick wall, and he'd do it. Now they ask me why you want me to run through it. So these kids are very distrusting. You can't lord over them.
All right, let's talk a little bit about the other dominoes that could fall. There's an undercurrent, a very strong undercurrent at Michigan, that even if Lloyd Carr wins out, goes to the Rose Bowl, he might ride off into the sunset. If that happens, the dominoes could fall in a very big way. Les Miles at LSU could be affected. There's a $1.5 million buyout for Michigan specifically in his deal. But in this day and time, $1.5 million is chump change. He could go in a heartbeat.
He could, and I would suggest that he would go. And again, that's not to disparage LSU, but that's a very difficult situation for Les Miles. We could see the sentiment, even after the big win over Alabama, that residue there was given with some kind of consideration and some exchange there. So again, I think Les is in a very difficult spot. If the Michigan job comes open, I'm there in a heartbeat if I'm Les
All right,
Miles.
one last guy we've got to mention here, and that's Houston Nutt. Okay, the Arkansas coach now may be hitching his wagon to a Heisman Trophy. Never has a sitting coach been fired of a Heisman Trophy winner, and that might be a major linchpin for him.
And I was looking at the numbers the other day. I was sitting there smiling. All those carries that Darren McFadden had, I'm saying, you got Felix Jones over there, but he's not splitting them. He's pushing this guy for the Heisman.
All right, and remember, we'll be with you Saturday afternoons throughout the season on the College Football Today.